Hello everyone. Today we'll discuss about analysis of covariance, that is ANCOVA. So this is our outline. There are three agenda points. What is ANCOVA? What are the assumptions of ANCOVA? And we'll consider one example for one-way ANCOVA. So what exactly ANCOVA is? Analysis of covariance. C stands for covariance, and like ANOVA, ANCOVA has a single continuous response variable. In our ANOVA also there is a single continuous response variable. So in ANCOVA also there will be single continuous response variable. ANCOVA compares a response variable by both a factor and a continuous independent variables. So we can say that the independent variables will be mixed. One is non-metric and one is metric. So one is factor and another is continuous. The continuous independent variable used in ANCOVA is known as covariate. Now you can see here, this is one-way ANOVA. So this is our factor variable, one independent variable. This is non-metric. Here the diet type, normal diet, junk diet and health diet. Here this is another independent variable. It is known as covariate. So it is continuous, our age. So it is a continuous variable. Both are independent variable, and there is a single dependent variable. It is also known as response variable. That is weight gain. So suppose if we will remove this covariate, then what will happen if we will remove this covariate? So it will become the one-way ANOVA. It will become one-way ANOVA. This is independent variable, 3 levels, and this is dependent variable in continuous data. Suppose if we will remove this factor variable, what will happen? This is independent variable continuous. Again it is continuous. So you can find out correlation analysis, or you can find out simple linear regression. So in short, we can say that in case of one-way ANCOVA, the independent variables will be mixed. One is non-metric and one is metric, and the dependent variable will be metric. Then what are the assumptions of ANCOVA? The groups are independent to each other. All the groups of factor variables should be independent to each other. The second, normality distribution. The dependent variable must be normally distributed within each subpopulation. So within each subpopulation, each level, each groups, the dependent variable should be normally distributed. Linearity, the relationship between the covariate and the dependent variable must be linear. Then the homogeneity of regression slopes, how we will find out this? The B coefficient for covariate must be equal among all the subpopulation. To find this, we have to find out interaction effect of factor variable, the non-metric variable and the covariate. Their interaction effect significant value should be greater than 0.05. If it will hold, then we can say that homogeneity of regression slope condition holds. Then the last one, homogeneity of variance. The variance of dependent variable must be equal over all subpopulation. How we will find out? We will find out through the Levin test of homogeneity of equal variance. If the Levin test of significant value of Levin test is greater than 0.05, then we can say that the homogeneity of variance of dependent variable holds. So these are the 5 assumptions of ANCOVA. Now we are considering one topic, and what is our topic? A study on covariating effect of age between diet types and weight gain. So this is our topic, and on the basis of this topic we have defined 2 objectives. The number 1 is to study the age, diet types and weight gain of the respondents, and the second is to find the covariating effect of age between diet types and weight gain of the respondents. So these are our 2 objectives. Now on the basis of these 2 objectives, we have formulated our hypothesis. So our null hypothesis H0 is there is no significant difference between diet types and weight gain with covariate age of the respondents. So what we are saying, if we are controlling age, then there is no significant difference between diet types and weight gain of the respondent. And the alternative hypothesis H1, there is a significant difference between diet types and weight gain with covariate age of the respondent. So here we are saying that if we are controlling our age, then our control variable is age, then there is a significant difference between the diet types and weight gain of the respondents. So now we have collected our data for the analysis. So this is our data. This is our data. You can see here diet types independent variable, age is our covariate, and weight gain is our dependent, or you can say response variable. So diet type is non-metric, age is metric, continuous variable, and then this is again continuous. Okay. So this is our data. Now we'll go to variable view and then we'll define our diet types. So 1 is equal to normal diet, 2 is equal to junk diet, and 3 is equal to health diet. 3 is equal to health diet. So these are the three types. These are the three types we have. So these data will be in nominal scale because it is only for the identification. Age is in continuous, so it is in scale. Weight gain is also continuous, so it is in scale. Okay. Now we'll go to data view. Now first we'll see our assumptions. So our first assumption was all the groups should be independent to each other. So that we'll see theoretically. Now our second assumption was that is that each subpopulation should be normally distributed. The dependent variable response for each subpopulation should be normally distributed. Now we'll go to analyze, and then analyze we'll go to descriptive statistics, then explore. We'll click here. In explore you can see here, in explore we have to take this value, just a moment, we have to take this weight gain. This is our dependent variable, and we want to check the normality of weight gain, the dependent variable, at each level of the diet types, that is equal to normal, junk and the health diet. So we'll take it in the factor list. Okay. Now we'll go to plots. We'll take here, this is the histogram, and then normality plots with test. So this is the normality plots with test, and then we will continue this. So once we will continue this, we will find this output. This is our output, you can see here, and then directly we will go to test of normality to see the Shapiro-Wilk test. So you can see here, and we know the rule. What is the rule of normality? If the significant value of Shapiro-Wilk test is greater than 0.05, then all the data are normally distributed. So for all the subpopulation you can see here, for normal diet it is 0.249, junk diet 0.161, health diet it is 0.546. So all the significant values are greater than 0.05. So all our subpopulations are normally distributed with this dependent variable. Okay. Now we'll check the linearity of the covariate and the dependent variable. For that we'll go to graphs, then we'll go to legacy dialogues, and then we'll go to scatter dot. We'll click here, and then we'll go to matrix scatter, and then define. And then again you can see here we have already put all the values. So in matrix variables we'll send this weight gain and this age group into the matrix variable, and then diet types will come on the row, and then OK. So you can see here data. So for all the level of population, normal diet, junk diet and health diet, we have to see weight and age at normal diet, age and weight, normal diet, all the 6 value you can see here. So all these are the normally distributed value. Mostly all the data are normally distributed. You can check it like this also. We'll put here a line. You can see here these are the straight line. So there is a linear relationship in all the levels of between the covariate and the dependent variables. So we have seen the dependent variable at all levels. It is normally distributed. Our relationship between the covariate and the dependent variables are linearly related. Then we will find out the third assumption, that is the homogeneity of regression slope. So how we'll find out? We'll go to generalized linear model, we'll go to univariate, and you can see here again we'll reset it. We'll take this dependent variable weight gain, into dependent variable. Our age is a covariate we know, and the diet types is our fixed factor. Okay, and then we will go to this model, or in model we'll not go to the full factorial, we'll come to custom, or when we'll go to custom we'll select these two values, that is the diet types and age, and we'll find out the interaction effect of these two. So interaction effect we'll find out, continue, and then okay. So now you can see here the diet type, the interaction effect of diet type, that is the factor variable, independent variable, and the covariate, their significant value is greater than 0.05. So it is holding the condition of homogeneity of regression slope. So our third condition of ANCOVA holds. Then we'll go to the fourth one, the last one, or fourth, or you can say the fifth one, because our first assumption was theoretical, all the groups should be independent to each other. So this is our fourth condition on that aspect if we will consider. So second was normality, third was linearity, and fourth was the homogeneity of regression slope. So all the four conditions are holding here. So now we'll go for the last condition, that is the Levin test of homogeneity, means Levin test of homogeneity for dependent variables. We'll do it when we'll run the ANCOVA. Okay. Before we'll go to ANCOVA, we'll first see one-way ANOVA. One-way ANOVA. So we'll go to compare, and then we'll go to one-way ANOVA, and again we'll reset. You can see here. So weight gain is dependent list, and then diet types will be on the factor list. And then okay. So you can see here when we are running one-way ANOVA, here we are not considering the covariate age. The significant value is 0.039, which is less than 0.05. What does it mean? It means that there is a significant difference between diet types and weight gain when we are not considering the covariate age. So you just remember this value, significant value of one-way ANOVA 0.039. Now we will run ANCOVA. Now we'll run ANCOVA with this data. So analyze, and then general linear model, univariate. You can see here our data is already here, or you can reset and again we can do this. So weight gain dependent list, age is our covariate, diet types is our fixed factor. In the model we'll do the full factorial model, continue, contrast, no need to do anything, plots, if you want to do then horizontal axis diet types and we have to add it, then continue, then save, no need to do anything, then we'll go to option. In option we have to select descriptive, estimates effect size, and homogeneity test, so that from there we'll find out our Levin test of homogeneity. And then if we want to compare this, we can take this display mean values and then compare the main effects and then continue and then okay. So you can see here these are the diet types, normal, junk, and health food, all has the equal sample 8, 8, and 8. These are the mean value, standard number, sample size here also. Here you can see that our fifth assumption, Levin test of equality of error variance. Here the significant value is 0.143, which is greater than 0.05. So our fifth condition, homogeneity of variance of dependent variables, holds here. So all the assumptions of ANCOVA we have proved, or all the conditions are satisfying in our data. Now we'll go to the ANCOVA table, test between subject effects. So here we are controlling the covariate age. Then what is the effect of diet types on weight gain? You can see here diet type on weight gain, and the significant value is 0.069. It is greater than 0.05. What does it mean? If we are controlling our age, then there is no significant difference between diet types and weight gain. But in one-way ANOVA we have seen, if we are not controlling age, then our significant value was 0.039. It means it was showing that there is a significant difference between diet types and weight gain. Now, how to report this data? How to report this data? Then we will go here, the reporting of result of ANCOVA. So you can see here, the data collected for analysis holds all the assumptions of ANCOVA. The significant value in ANCOVA table, that is the test of between subjects, is 0.069, which is greater than 0.05. So it has sufficient evidence as per the decision rule to accept the null hypothesis. Hence H0, that is null hypothesis, is accepted. It means there is no significant difference between diet types and weight gain with covariate age of the respondent. So if we are controlling age, there is no effect between diet types and weight gain. But if we remove the covariate age and run one-way ANOVA, the significant value between diet types and weight gain is 0.039, which is less than 0.05, which is significant. So there is a significant difference between diet types and weight gain if we do not control the covariate age. So this is the output result of ANCOVA. So that's it. Thank you very much. This is for ANCOVA.